Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are getting right into Cancer love reading for November. Alright guys, so the fire signs are up for you cross watchers. Heavy readings for Aries and Leo. Sagittarius, also big month coming up. So let's go ahead, Cancer, and see what your month is going to look like. We're going to get right into your Celtic spread reading for November. Now remember, this may or may not resonate with you, and please just take what applies to your situation. Sometimes you may resonate only with one aspect of the reading or all aspects or what have you. So just take what applies to you and let the rest fly. All right, Cancer, what's going on with you this November? Straight out, we have Page of Pentacles at the center, covered by the Two of Swords. Two of Swords has been everywhere this November. A lot of people making decisions. Five of Pentacles, so there's been a power struggle. And at the bottom, you have a King of Cups. There is someone who really wants to be with you. You come into the month with a Nine of Cups, and you end the month with a Ten of Wands. Very, very nice energy. Ten of Wands is, of course, laying down burdens. Immediately, we see that a very difficult path is going to be behind you very soon, Cancer. You come into the month with a King of Pentacles, and you get greeted with a Knight of Cups. Four of Pentacles are your worries, your hopes, and, of course, Seven of Wands is the ultimate outcome for the month. All right, so let me just straighten out my camera. Here we go. All right, guys, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. So, Empress, Major Arcana 3, talking about the Great Mother, the Divine Feminine. Empress energy, you can see that she is luxuriating in her own garden there. And Empress energy generally talks about being extremely receptive and open, and also having the inner beauty mirrored on the outside, right? So Empress energy is when you are beautiful inside and out physically, when your surroundings begin to sort of mirror your character, your the spirit that you have inside of you. You see it around you. You begin to manifest it around you. This could include your home, your livelihood, those around you, all of it kind of resonating higher, and really being reflective of who you are. Sometimes we feel like we are in a life that isn't ours. Do you know what I'm saying? We feel, sometimes we can be in stages in our lives where the way we're living, our surroundings, everything we're having to put up with isn't exactly who we are inside, isn't what we really want for ourselves, but it's a stage that we have to get through. With the Empress, we talk about that stage being behind you and you coming into the life and into the environment that you really want, that you really love, that really speaks to your heart. Could even indicate moving as well. Sometimes if you're moving out of the city or back into the city or what have you. Also talks about nurturing yourself, taking care of your emotional well-being, right? Your physical well-being, making sure to pour all of that beautiful divine feminine energy also into yourself so that you maintain a high level of creativity, right? We talk about fertility, right? When we want the ground to grow, and of course Empress energy is absolutely creative energy, then we have to keep the ground fertile. And part of keeping the ground fertile is to nourish it, to nurture it, to feed it, and to take good care of it. And this is all about Empress energy coming in to this month. So let's get right into it. We have two Court Cup cards, and we have a few pentacles going around. Certainly at the center of the reading you have a Page of Pentacles, so this is a new beginning, right? It's the inkling of a new beginning. It's not exactly the Ace of Pentacles, right? when we talk about a new business opportunity or career. But Page of Pentacles talks about the beginning stages of an idea that begins to formulate. It could be a conversation, okay? It could be an email. It can also oftentimes indicate communication that's coming in, right? So this month, it's interesting. There is, at the heart of your love life and your relationships this month, there is a small, like, new little beginning somewhere. It could also be a new conversation that you have with somebody, right? And this new idea, or the sort of the beginning stages of formulating and perhaps a new path, right? A new conversation, maybe connecting with someone, right? Brings you to a Two of Swords. You feel very much like you have to make a choice this month, right? You feel like, whatever's come out of this communication, the impact of it, right? The possible impact of it, because again, it's just an inkling. The possible impact of it is making you feel like you're almost in an impossible situation. You can't choose one or the other. And again, Two of Swords definitely talks about balance. Finding balance when you can't really choose one option over another option for your life. When your life and your heart and your psyche really need both pieces of both scenarios, right, in your life. Oftentimes it is impossible to make a decision, and so the message here is balance. This could be choosing between family and work, right? An ex-family and a new family, right? You may have children from a previous marriage, and then you have a new family that you're joining, and perhaps on the surface you may feel like you're being forced into a decision over one or the other, but really, again, Two of Swords tells you that really in scenarios like that, we need to find balance. Now, interestingly enough, this Page of Pentacles really comes out of a power struggle. So somewhere along the line, you have a power struggle this month that's really taking a lot of your focus. This is your conscious and your unconscious. And this power struggle could be between friends, lovers, right? Whatever the case may be, Five of Pentacles generally indicates a power struggle that happened that results in a failure of some kind, right? A defeat of some kind, more like. Not so much a failure, but a defeat. There's a split. You're alienated from the group now that is continuing to enjoy the warmth of the church, and now you're on the outside. This is the card of alienation, breakups, split-ups over money, and split-ups that end up also costing you financially. At the end of this power struggle, you're the one who's ending up worse off. Now, I'm going to say for some of you, this could be a scenario that you were living in. I feel as though what's happened this month, right, for a lot of you guys is Cancer. It's about a new love. You're living, for some of you, you may have been living in a situation, because Five of Pentacles is one of those interesting dynamics where oftentimes this will happen because it's necessary to happen. Whatever connection you were having with this group or this person or this environment that you were living in was in some way not completely healthy for you. It wasn't keeping you, let me move this down a little bit. It wasn't keeping you moving forward. It may have been stagnating other areas in your life by being in this dynamic. So oftentimes when you go through a Five of Pentacles, it's for the better. And what happens is you have a King of Cups coming, Cancer. I want to say for some of you, right, you were in like a really tough financial situation this month or coming into this month. And what happened is you have this kind of chance meeting. It's really a chance meeting, Page of Pentacles. It was unexpected, I'm going to say. It probably came across extremely innocent because it's Pentacles, it's not Cups. It's not right away apparent that this is a love connection, right? But what happens this month, you are really kind of the happy victim. I'm going to say victim, but the happy victim of circumstance, because as a result of this split, you have someone, a King of Cups, who comes in for you, Cancer. A King of Cups who literally comes in for you to save the day. Very beautiful. This is almost like you're being swept off your feet. You're probably thinking in your forehead, right? In your foreground of your mind, I want to say, in the conscious focus of your mind, you're probably very wrapped up with this dynamic and the hardship that it caused. And you're thinking about how to get forward. And all of a sudden this month, this beautiful, beautiful King of Cups comes in. This is somebody who is going to want to take care of you financially. This is fire of water energy. Remember, folks, kings are fire, queens are water, knights are air, and princesses or pages are earth. They are always associated with that. So when we have a King of Cups, we're talking about a fiery aspect of water. And who do you think when you think of that? Of course, you think of a Scorpio, right? Scorpio can be quite fiery and watery. King of Cups can oftentimes be scorpionic energy. Could be a Scorpio that you're dealing with, or somebody who resonates with that type of energy. I hesitate to say what kind of signs you're dealing with because, of course, that's nonsense. We have to look at the entire natal chart and not the sun sign alone to really get a sense of somebody through their astrological chart. But what I can tell you is that this individual is really resonating with that kind of fiery, watery energy, right? Whether they're a Scorpio or not. They could be a fire sign, they could be an earth sign, or what have you. But they certainly resonate with that energy. This type of individual, they see you, they come for you, they want you. The King of Cups is very sure of himself. I'm going to just skip ahead to the Knight of Cups, even though we're not at that part of the reading, to give you a comparison. The Knight of Cups generally comes in and is not as sure of himself. He's the airy part of water, Knights of Cups, and so he's very caught up in his head oftentimes. He's not really completely sure of where his feelings lie. You can see the river of his emotions. It's just a little river, and he's just about to cross it. Very different than the king, whose entire throne sits in what we will consider just rolling waters. You see the fish jumping out of the water, the boat behind. This indicates someone who is a master of his emotions, right? Almost a master sailor or seaman, right? A sea person on the water would be someone symbolically who is a master of his feelings. Here with the Knight of Cups, we see someone who's only just beginning to dip his toe, which is oftentimes why the Knight of Cups is so flighty. But with the King of Cups, we have somebody who knows exactly what he wants. He's the master of his relationships. He's not flighty. He's dependable. He's committed. He can be possessive and jealous at times. And again, like I say, radiating with that scorpionic energy. But again, Cancer, you love this. And it comes in for you. There you go. Comes in for you very much the match to your femininity. Now, this is not gender specific. You could be a male Cancer, female Cancer. You're still going to have this individual who comes in and very much saves the day in a lot of ways. You come into the month with a wish fulfillment. I want to say that I believe that this all begins very quickly at the beginning of the month. I'm not talking about days and weeks into November. Very, very quickly at the beginning of the month, this meeting, I think, is going to happen. This chance encounter is going to happen. And the rest of the month is going to very much be about this King of Cups coming in. Yet you still feel like you have to make a decision. All right, so Nine of Cups is this wish fulfillment that you come into the month with. And I think a lot of you, because of this power struggle that you had here, remember 9 in the major arcana is the Hermit, and in all 9 cards we see a bit of alienation, of being separate. Even with the 9 of Cups, he's very happy. 9 of Cups is the card for happiness, right? It's the card for really having a lot of wishes fulfilled in your life, generally being very sort of lucky and contented. However, the character is alone, and he sits in front and separate from his sort of cups, right? All of his tokens of prosperity and luck and joy in relationships, yet that major relationship, the one that you feel really deeply connected to, still eludes him. And that's the relationship that takes us up to a 10 of Cups. And so you come into the month, I believe, Cancer, very much with feeling lucky, feeling happy with everything you've accomplished in your life, and being happy. I'm gonna say so far with your general relationships, yet really wishing for that connection. And it comes in with this King of Cups. At least the possibility of it comes in with this King of Cups. Again, this chance meeting, I think, happens very early on. And Nine of Cups, this energy here is the early part of the month, and the energy you come into the month with and carry forward in the beginning part. And I want to say that this first meeting as well is really something that gives you a lot of joy and happiness. Again, it won't be until later, I think, that you realize this person is really wants you. It may not even be until later that they decide they want you, right? This meeting has to happen first. Remember, Two of Swords still covers you. And as a result of this meeting this person, and perhaps this person coming in, and all of the different things that happen throughout the month, you still feel, though, as though you're going to have to make a choice between one thing in your life or the other, right? It could very well be who this person is, how they're coming in. There's more to this story than meets the eye with this Two of Swords. Now, with this Ten of Wands, you end the month off really being able to finally say goodbye to a lot of hang-ups and burdens that you've been carrying around, sadness that you've been carrying around, things that you've been probably using for a long time as a crutch, but that have ultimately become blockages and obstacles to your progress, right? It's the end of it. Again, this king energy that comes in is so... it's so nice and strong. It really takes you away from a difficult part of your life, Cancer. And again, I'm going to say this Two of Swords, I want to say for some of you, this Two of Swords is a lot to do with this Ten of Wands. Because Ten of Wands talks about laying down a burden. And it could very well be that for some of you Cancers, the reason why you had this power struggle was to do with a particular burden or responsibility that you've been shouldering for a very long time. Could be anything, dealing with family members or friends or some kind of heavy responsibility that you've been shouldering that has really kept you from your life, right? But again, this King of Cups comes in and really makes you feel like, wow, it's time for me to lay this down. But this is at the end of the month, and I think a lot of the month, right, is this Two of Swords because you're kind of like, for most of the month, you're still deciding about this and this. It's like, okay, I don't have to shoulder this anymore, but there's the nagging responsibility, the nagging guilt. And so again, you keep in this sort of land of indecision. What's the best thing to do? I know I'm not really happy, but I feel of this responsibility. I have this new person in my life and they're showing me a new way. They're increasing my self-confidence, self-esteem. And more, towards the end of the month, you will come to a decision, certainly to lay down the worst of this burden and perhaps to find some balance. It could very well be that this burden is family related or business related, and part of the balance that you need to find with the Two of Swords is to lay down the worst of this relationship, but to find a better working relationship in it so that you can be emotionally happy. Right? What I mean to say is an example would be if you've been shouldering all of the burdens of taking care of extended family, right? You lay down that, right? That responsibility, which shouldn't fall on one person. An example would be you lay this down, but you don't stop dealing with your family, right? They're still your extended family. You still love them. And so it's not that you're making a choice of one over the other, but you're laying down the worst of it. And so in this way, you're finding the right kind of balance that is healthy for you. And all of this comes out of this meeting with the King of Cups. Now, how do you approach this month of love? Very much with King of Pentacles energy. Right? So it could be Cancer for a lot of you. A lot of this responsibility and power struggle could be that you are perhaps the main breadwinner, in your social circle or family circle. You could be the one who's really at the head of the family. You could be the patriarch or the matriarch. Whatever the case may be, you do have a certain level of financial stability, right? And authority. And again, that may be one of the reasons why you have this heavy responsibility laid on you, right? And so you come into the month maintaining that, right? Maintaining your responsibility for that. But again, what comes to meet you? A Knight of Cups. So this king, not only are you thinking about this King of Cups, but he's actually embodying Knight of Cups also in the sense that he's moving forward to you, right? Coming into you and really stirring your feelings, right? It's offering you this cup, you know, and being around, right? In a lot of ways, I'm going to say Knight of Cups, this energy of really not only being a really good partner or connection for you, somebody who wants to sort of come to your rescue, but it's almost as if, you know, once you've met this person, it's like when you begin to have real stress throughout the month or difficulties in this area, right? Dealing with this, finally bringing this to a better, more balanced conclusion. They're always there. They're always there to help you. They're always there to support you. They're always there to sort of give you that that lovely token of affection or what have you. And again, it's really all about this love connection. Now, what do you worry about? Of course, you worry about your finances. You worry about the threat to your finances. It could very well be that part of this authority you have here is related to the fact that you've been taking on these burdens and responsibilities. I keep thinking of a family. I want to even say a family that has a family business, but yet you take care of them and the family business. Excuse me. And you may even take care of them physically, but part of your ability to do all of that is because you're part of the family, right? So it's a very I want to say symbiotic relationship. And so you do worry that making this decision to lay down some of these burdens may threaten you financially, may be a threat to your financial stability. And I think that part of this month, when you go forward with this love connection, will be that you're going to have to really stand up for yourself. Because once you lay down these 10 of Wands, you end the month out also with a 7 of Wands, meaning that probably a lot of the people that have come to depend on you, or probably more to the point, have taken advantage of you or taken you for granted. You're really going to have to stand up to them, to a lot of them, and make your position clear, right? Because they're not going to be necessarily happy about you moving on with your life, taking, you know, finding a better balance for you. Right? Because this is a very sort of, from what I feel out of this reading, is this is a very much a situation where, you know, the payoff that you've gotten by being put in this position of authority and having the abundance come in has not necessarily equal to everything that you've been through taking care of this side of your life, right? It's been very, very hard, certainly with 10 of Wands. So for some of you, Cancer, this is quite interesting. It's like you, Cancers, this month, for some of you, a love connection is going to come to the rescue for you. It's going to help you find balance in another area of your life that's really been out of balance, that's really been an impediment to your own personal progress, right? You end the month happy. You end the month, I believe, with this connection, but not without a little bit of difficulty, right? You will feel a bit of threat to your finances, and you will have to find a lot of creative solutions to standing up to some of the people who will not necessarily be happy with the decision that you've made. But oh well, you know, this is the best decision for you. Again, I have a really strong feeling that December is going to be the month of fruition when it comes to love for a lot of us. And November is very much a preparatory stage for December. And again, here, Cancer, you are very much preparing the path for a happy life the way you see it with a lover and without all of these burdens. But this preparation is very much part of your November experience. All right, I'm just going to pull a couple more cards to clarify, and that'll be you. Universe, Prince of Discs, there you go. 4 of Discs again, and Ace of Wands. So, yep, Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Absolutely. So this is, again, I do want to say this is involving family. This is involving family who've come to rely on you too much. There's been a sense of duty to the family. This could also be a cultural or religious background in the sense that in your culture, your religion, it is your responsibility to take care of the family regardless of how difficult it may be, etc., etc. Again, universe comes in and this Five of Pentacles happens because it was necessary. Universe oftentimes comes in and causes events to happen in our life that force us to get back on the right path, right? So that we are back on the path we should be in. It almost feels as though that this dynamic here had kind of taken you off course a little bit, and the universe is very much righting itself with this November reading and this November energy that's coming in, right? So this was absolutely necessary and certainly leading to something that was almost in a way divinely met. King of Cups, Prince of Discs. Absolutely. Prince of Discs is the same as the Knight of Discs. This is the Thoth deck. And so we're talking about, again, King of Cups. Like I say, he saves the day. He comes in. He provides that stability emotionally. And even though you may, Cancer, you may have financial stability, changing this dynamic may indeed threaten that financial stability, but worry not, because this King of Cups not only brings love, but he also brings with him financial stability. He also brings with him that, right? Nine of Cups, again, your wish fulfillment, you know, your desire to have a deeper connection, again, is threatened by this Four of Discs. Here we have Four of Discs from the Thoth deck. Four of Discs talks about power, maintaining power. It's Sun and Capricorn energy. And so, yeah, part of your desire to have a deeper connection, right? A lot of it, you worry about your financial stability. It could very well be, like I said, that your culture, your religious background, whatever the case may be, has put you in a position where choosing the love that you want for your life, you may feel very much like you have to choose that or the family, and with the family comes financial stability. So you want to be broke in love, or you want to be lonely and have money, basically, right, with the family. 10 of Wands and Ace of Wands. What else could be more beautiful? The closing of one stage and the absolute fiery beginning of a new stage. This is absolutely the beginning of a new stage in life for you, and certainly one that promises a lot of creativity and a lot of love and connection and passion. Ace of Wands is the passionate card. It's also the great phallic symbol, and for some of you, this is indeed this laying down of this burden and connection is the beginning of you finally following your real passion. All right, this is it, Cancer. It ran on a bit. It was a great reading. What a wonderful outlook for you this month. If it resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share. All of that's good stuff. But for right now, Cancer, I'm just going to say have a wonderful, wonderful November, and I'll see you mid-November for the mid-month love check-in. Bye-bye now.